It's Jack from B&T MacFarlane, and this is one of the coolest lawnmowers I think I've ever seen. It's the Toro Revolution, so it's a fully electric stand-on zero-turn lawnmower from Toro. I made a video about it a couple of months ago going over some of the specs and the details and the pricing on it, but today we actually get to use it, so I brought it home today on this really nice fall day. We're going to mow the lawn a little bit, and then we're going to put it to the test. We're going to go through some leaves and some thicker stuff to see how it works. I did charge it all the way up to 100%, so we're gonna get a battery life test on it as well, and I hope you guys stick around and enjoy the video. Before we get into the mowing portion of today's video, I will get into some of the specs for those of you that did miss the last video. So we're going to start up here on the battery. That's the most important part of any electric vehicle, and this battery is awesome. They say it's going to last about 5 to 6 hours of mowing time, so that's very impressive if it's true. I did mention we did charge it up to 100% last night, so we're going to see how much percent it loses and kind of estimate how much runtime we will get from this, because that's going to be very important. This mower, not a lot of homeowners are going to buy it because of its steep price tag, but a lot of commercial guys, they will like this lawnmower because it's a great alternative. If you've seen the price of fuel and maintenance costs too, it's getting really high and out of control. And this mower, again, it uses no fuel, and the maintenance costs, there's no oil changes, no filters, no nothing. The only thing you have to do is just plug it in and go about your day. And that is one thing to note right now, since this is still a prototype, the charge time is about 10 hours from 5% all the way up to 100%. So that is really long, but that's just in a normal 110 volt outlet like you would normally plug things into. But they do say on full release in the next couple of months, there will be a 220 volt supercharger option. So you'll plug it into what you would normally plug an electric stove into, and that'll charge it in about half the time. So they're saying around 4 to 5 hours to 100%, which would be a lot more reasonable. So the mower right now, it's running. I can actually turn it on, go forward and back. So this is as loud as it gets when it's actually running. It's like a soft whir. I'm gonna put it in a bit of a slower mode because I'm not the best at driving it yet, and I definitely want to be careful around here in some of the trees. But one nice thing about this mower is that you're able to turn down the actual speed of the machine, but keep your blade tip speed up. So it's not like a gas mower where your blade tip speed is tied directly into your engine revs. You can lower your engine revs with the machine so you move slower, but keep the actual blade spinning at maximum RPMs. And this mower too, they say it's equivalent to about a 55 horsepower gas-powered zero-turn, which is unbelievable. Most zero-turns of this class, they're right around 24, 25 horsepower. So I think this is going to do an excellent job mulching up the leaves over there and maybe through some smaller sticks if I don't see them. So now we're going to start mowing, and hope you guys enjoy. So this is about how loud it is when you're just driving this zero-turn. It is a little bit sensitive at the start, so it does take a bit of time to get used to. But you can see there, just driving the zero turn, it actually doesn't have that much noise. And I'm gonna start up the motors here. So that's about as loud as it gets. It actually mows really nicely. Once you get the speed control dialed in a little bit, it actually makes it really easy to drive, because you can turn the speed up on this thing really high to the point where it's actually a little bit dangerous. Definitely does take a bit of time to get used to, but yeah. We just got finished up mowing the lawn here and we only burned 6% of the battery. It only took us about 21 minutes of actual mowing time. So if you do the math, it'll last about 5.8 hours, the battery. So Toro, when they were telling us it's gonna last between 5 and 6 hours, they're pretty well bang on of actual mowing time, which should last most commercial users for this mower their entire day. You're not mowing the entire 8 hours of the day. A lot of the time is spent going between jobs, trimming, blowing, doing other kind of lawn maintenance. So that 6 hours of runtime is actually pretty good for most people. If you do buy this residentially, that should last you many, many cuts. You could probably get away with charging this maybe once every couple of weeks if you mow your grass once or twice a week. In terms of the actual mowing of it, I really liked it. It mowed really, really well. Even when I turned the speed down, you can see there in a couple of the clips, I wasn't too familiar with the setup. I had the speed turned way too high to the point where it was actually almost a little bit dangerous, but I was able to dial down the speed and keep the blade tip speed up. So when I was going through all the leaves and some of the branches, it did a really, really nice job. My only complaint with the mower is the actual speed of it and how it handles and feels at anything above 3 bars. If you go into the speed settings, there's bars 1 through 6. And if you have it on the 6th bar, we were actually able to get the front tires completely off of the ground and do some pretty high wheelies with it just out of nowhere. You had no idea it was going to be that quick. So that would be my biggest complaint. A lot of the people that are going to be getting this, it's going to go to a commercial user where it's going to be younger people on it or people that are a little bit newer and not familiar with the equipment. So upon the full release of this is again just a prototype, but when Toro finally comes out with this mower for the public, I would really, really like to see that there's an ability to lock the speed on the machine, whether that be around 3 bars. That's what we were mowing here, and it was very, very comfortable. You could stay completely in control while keeping that blade tip speed up. But I think that would be a really value-added addition to be able to lock that speed. And then the only other question that a lot of people are probably having is the parts support on this and what the reliability is going to be like in the long term. I can tell you just from looking at this mower, the actual build of it is very, very robust. Like the front axles there, the rear axles, as well as the mower deck itself. It's built just like the commercial grandstands. The only thing that everybody, including myself, does have questions on is the long-term reliability of the battery itself, as well as the drive motors. So there's not a belt that goes between all the different blades. Each blade has its own motor, which makes it very, very powerful. But I'm just worried about how long those actual blade motors are going to last. They do say that the battery and the blade system will last longer than a commercial gas-powered version, but only time will tell when we're actually looking at the electric version. There's been a huge shift here in the city of Ottawa over the past couple of years to get a lot of commercial lawn maintenance companies to switch into electric machinery, whether that be handheld blowers and trimmers, all the way to some commercial zero turns. And it's really nice to see a big brand like Toro leading the charge into that kind of new era of lawn maintenance equipment. They have their own handheld line of their 60-volt power equipment, and now they have the Toro Revolution stand-on grandstand, which is actually an amazing mower. So it's going to be a really attractive choice for those companies that are looking to take on some of those government contracts to get those electric products. But for a lot of homeowners, I think it's still a couple years out because it's not really practical for a lot of homeowners to invest this sort of money into a lawnmower right now. I think what's going to happen with Toro, like a lot of new technology, is that as more and more companies use this and as more governments use this, it's going to lower the cost for everybody else. So I think in about 5 to 10 years, you're going to start seeing some robust zero turns and robust machinery on everybody's property, just around your neighborhood. And as always, I just wanted to thank you for watching. And if you have any comments or questions about this zero turn, make sure you leave them down below in the comments. And if you need help with parts, sales, or service, give us a call at 613-225-0555. Thank you.